They told you this was healthy. They told you bread is whole grain, multigrain, heart-friendly. But after 60, the wrong bread can quietly damage your metabolism, silently accelerate aging, and strain your heart, brain, muscles, hormones, and gut all at the same time. Some of what's sitting in grocery store aisles right now is disguised as healthy, but functions like a silent killer in grocery stores. In 2024, a large analysis published in the BMJ, following over 118,000 adults, found that higher intake of ultra-processed, refined grain products was associated with a 29% increased risk of cardiovascular disease. 29%, that is not small. In 2023, researchers from Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health reported that diets high in rapidly absorbed refined carbohydrates were linked to a 34% higher risk of type 2 diabetes and significant acceleration of cognitive decline markers in adults over 60. 34% higher risk. And the number one worst bread on this list is in most seniors' kitchens right now. It has a shocking biological effect on blood vessels and brain cells that most people never see coming. Today, I'm walking you through real science, real studies, and a clear countdown. 4 breads to avoid, and 4 that truly support longevity after 60. The most dangerous item is saved for last. Before we start, tell me in the comments what concerns you most right now. Heart health, memory, blood sugar, or weight gain? Because the bread you choose affects all of them. Before we talk about what helps you after 60, we need to expose what's quietly harming you. Some of the most common foods in American kitchens are silently accelerating aging, spiking blood sugar, straining your heart, and increasing inflammation without obvious warning signs. They're marketed as healthy. They look harmless, but the data tells a very different story. And if you're eating them daily, they could be quietly working against your brain, muscles, metabolism, and longevity. Now let's talk about the 4 you need to avoid. Number 4, multigrain sandwich bread. You'd think this is healthy. The word multi sounds wholesome. Traditional multigrain bread once meant cracked grains, slow fermentation, and coarse texture. But modern industrial versions are typically refined white flour dyed with caramel coloring and sprinkled with a few seeds for appearance. Manufacturers often add emulsifiers like mono and diglycerides, dough conditioners, and hidden sugars to speed production and extend shelf life. In 2023, a study from the University of São Paulo examining over 10,000 adults found that high intake of ultra-processed breads was associated with a 21% increase in markers of systemic inflammation, 21% higher inflammatory markers. Mechanistically, these refined grains spike glucose rapidly, triggering insulin surges that promote fat storage and insulin resistance. Over time, repeated glycemic spikes accelerate advanced glycation end products, AGS, which stiffen arteries and damage collagen in skin and joints. Chronic inflammation contributes to muscle loss and vascular stiffness. As Dr. Walter Willett noted in a 2024 nutrition symposium, refined grains packaged as whole foods are one of the quiet drivers of cardiometabolic aging. If you're eating this daily, stop. Number 3, wheat bread. You'd think wheat means whole wheat. It doesn't. Traditional whole wheat used the intact bran and germ. Modern wheat bread is often 90% refined flour with a touch of whole wheat flour added for marketing. The label says wheat, but the structure behaves like white bread. Industrial roller milling strips, fiber and micronutrients, removing magnesium, B vitamins, and antioxidants that protect vascular and neural tissue. In 2025, a cohort analysis from the American Heart Association involving 82,000 older adults showed that diets high in refined wheat products were linked to a 26% higher risk of ischemic stroke. 26%. When fiber is stripped away, digestion becomes rapid, blood sugar spikes, and insulin resistance deepens. That hormonal disruption affects not only metabolism, but also brain insulin signaling, which is now strongly linked to dementia risk. Refined wheat also disrupts the gut microbiome, reducing short-chain fatty acid production that normally protects the colon and regulates inflammation. Over time, this contributes to sarcopenia, cognitive decline, and increased cardiovascular events. If this is your daily toast, it's time to reconsider. If this third one surprised you, take a second right now and hit the like button. It tells YouTube to share this life-saving information with more adults over 60 who need it. And it helps this channel continue bringing you real, science-backed senior health guidance. Number 2. Packaged gluten-free white bread. You'd think gluten-free means healthier. For some with celiac disease, it's medically necessary. But for most seniors, mass-produced gluten-free bread is a metabolic trap. Traditionally, gluten-free breads were dense, made from whole buckwheat or millet. Modern versions rely heavily on refined rice flour, potato starch, and tapioca starch. Manufacturers add xanthan gum, modified starches, and sugar to mimic softness. In 2024, a study from the University of Sydney analyzing 1,200 gluten-free products found that 78% had higher glycemic indexes than conventional whole grain bread, 78%. Another 2023 European study linked high refined starch intake to a 31% increase in insulin resistance markers in adults over 55. High glycemic gluten-free bread floods the bloodstream with glucose, accelerating endothelial dysfunction. Blood vessels lose flexibility. Pancreatic beta cells become strained. Hormonal balance shifts toward fat storage and inflammatory signaling. The result? Greater risk of diabetes, fatty liver, and vascular cognitive impairment. Unless medically necessary, this is not your longevity bread. Number 1. White sandwich bread. This is the one in most kitchens. Soft, cheap, familiar, you grew up on it. But modern white bread is a radically altered product compared to traditional slow-fermented loaves. Industrial milling strips nearly all fiber. Bleaching agents like benzoyl peroxide whiten the flour. Dough conditioners speed rising to minutes instead of hours. In 2025, a multi-country meta-analysis in the Lancet Regional Health Tracking over 140,000 adults found that high consumption of refined white bread was associated with a 41% increased risk of cardiovascular mortality in individuals over 60. 41% increased mortality risk. Additionally, a 2024 National Institute on Aging-supported study reported a 37% higher incidence of cognitive decline among seniors consuming high amounts of refined white grain products. White bread's rapid absorption causes repeated glycemic surges. These spikes damage endothelial cells, promote telomere shortening, and accelerate advanced glycation that stiffens arteries and clouds lens tissue. Chronic hyperinsulinemia interferes with muscle protein synthesis, contributing to weakness. Over decades, this translates into heart attacks, strokes, memory loss, and frailty. As Dr. David Ludwig of Harvard stated in 2024, refined starches are metabolically indistinguishable from sugar. If you're eating this daily, stop. Your future self depends on it. Now let's flip the script. Because after 60, the right foods don't just prevent damage, they actively restore balance. They stabilize blood sugar, calm inflammation, support gut health, and protect your heart and brain at the cellular level. These are not trends. These are traditionally prepared, science-backed foods that improve metabolic resilience and support healthy aging. And when eaten consistently, they can change how you feel within weeks and how you age over years. Now here are the 4 that truly boost health. Number 4, true whole grain bread with intact kernels. This is a return to tradition. Look for 100% whole grain as the first ingredient, not enriched flour. In 2023, Tufts University researchers found that adults consuming 3 servings of intact whole grains daily had 17% lower inflammatory markers and improved waist circumference over 3 years. 17% reduction in inflammation. Whole grains digest more slowly, stabilizing blood sugar and improving insulin sensitivity. The intact fiber feeds beneficial gut bacteria, increasing butyrate production that protects colon cells and reduces systemic inflammation. Heart, brain, and metabolism all benefit. Choose dense texture, visible grain pieces, minimal ingredient lists. Store in freezer to preserve oils in the germ. Toast lightly. Transition gradually by mixing half refined, half whole for 2 weeks to adjust taste. If you found this helpful, share this video with someone you care about, a spouse, a sibling, a friend over 60. One simple share could help protect their heart, their memory, and their independence for years to come. Number 3, sprouted grain bread. Sprouting activates enzymes that break down phytic acid and improve mineral absorption. In 2024, a study from the University of Illinois showed sprouted grain products improved iron and zinc bioavailability by up to 25% and improved post-meal glucose control by 19% compared to refined bread. Sprouting increases antioxidant levels and may enhance protein quality. This supports muscle preservation, hormonal balance, and cognitive function. Look for 100% sprouted whole grain on label. No added sugars. Store refrigerated due to fewer preservatives. Eat with protein to further stabilize glucose. The texture is denser, flavor slightly nutty. Give your palate 2 weeks. Most seniors adapt quickly. Number 2, traditional sourdough made with long fermentation. Real sourdough is fermented 24 to 48 hours, not flavored with vinegar. In 2025, researchers at Stanford University reported that long fermented sourdough reduced post-meal glucose spikes by 23% compared to standard white bread and improved microbiome diversity over 8 weeks. Fermentation partially breaks down gluten and starch, improving digestibility and lowering glycemic load. Organic acids formed during fermentation enhance mineral absorption and improve insulin sensitivity. Heart health, gut integrity, and metabolic stability all improve. Choose loaves with short ingredient lists: flour, water, salt, starter. Avoid added yeast. Store in paper bag at room temperature. Toast or pair with healthy fats to enhance satiety. If you're serious about protecting your health after 60, subscribe to Senior Health Support right now. Every week, I break down real science into simple, practical steps that help you protect your heart, strengthen your body, and stay mentally sharp. Hit subscribe and join a community that's focused on aging stronger, not just older. Number 1, traditionally stone-ground, high-fiber rye bread. This is the longevity bread. Dense, dark, minimal ingredients in a 10-year cohort study published in 2024 by the Karolinska Institute, following over 12,000 adults aged 60 to 75. Those consuming high-fiber rye products regularly had a 28% lower risk of major cardiovascular events and a 22% reduction in all-cause mortality. 22% lower mortality over 10 years. Rye's unique arabinoxylan fibers improve insulin sensitivity, reduce LDL cholesterol, and increase satiety hormones like peptide YY. Blood sugar rises slowly, inflammation drops, microbiome diversity increases, brain blood flow improves. As Professor Richard Landberg noted, if high-fiber rye were a medication, it would be considered revolutionary. Choose dense, heavy loaves, labeled 100% whole rye. Avoid caramel coloring. Store sliced in freezer. Eat in the morning with protein and healthy fat for sustained energy. Transition gradually by mixing with whole wheat before switching fully. The taste is robust, but deeply satisfying. The bread you choose after 60 determines how you age. Marketing will try to convince you softness equals quality and long shelf life equals convenience. But energy, mobility, cognitive clarity, and even years of life are influenced by these daily decisions. Have you already switched breads? What changes did you notice in your weight, blood sugar, or energy? Tell me below. The right bread isn't just food. After 60, it's strategy. Before you click away, remember this. What you drink every morning can either protect everything we talked about today or quietly undo it. We just exposed how everyday foods can strain your heart, spike your blood sugar, and accelerate aging after 60. But here's what most seniors don't realize. Your coffee can amplify that damage or dramatically reverse it. In my next video, over 60, 4 worst coffees you should never touch and 4 you must drink daily, I reveal which popular coffee choices are increasing inflammation, raising cortisol, and stressing your arteries, and which specific types are proven to improve circulation, metabolic health, and even cognitive clarity. One of the worst coffees on that list is sitting in millions of kitchens right now. And the healthiest option is something most people walk past every single day. If you care about energy, brain sharpness, and protecting your heart after 60, you need to watch that next. Click the video on your screen now, and let's make sure your morning routine is working for your longevity, not against it.